Good morning, friends. How are you today? Happy Monday. I hope you had a great Easter at home this weekend. I'm sorry we didn't get to do our Easter egg hunt at school, but I'm sure you got to do stuff at your house, and I'm sure you had a great time. So, this week we're going to keep learning about plants in spring. So, you saw my tray of things that Bay was smelling. What do you think? Why do you think I have these things on my tray? What are some things that you see? I have an onion, an apple, some lettuce, some beans, and a piece of broccoli. Maybe you eat some of these things at your house. Today we are going to read a story called Growing Vegetable Soup. So we'll talk about what's on my tray after we read our story. Let's get started. This story is written and illustrated by Lois Ehlert. So she drew the pictures and she wrote the words. Dad says we are going to grow vegetable soup. We're ready to work and our tools are ready too. What kind of tools do you see on this page? I see a rake, a shovel, and this is a special tool called a hoe, and we use it to dig in our garden, just like these tools. We are planting the seeds. Ooh, what kind of seeds do you think they're planting? Looks like they made the little holes for all of them. This says we have some soil down here, a green bean seed, a pea seed, corn seed, and a zucchini squash seed. And these tiny little ones are carrot seeds. And all the sprouts, look at all the little sprouts. There's the onions, pepper, cabbage, broccoli, tomato, potato eyes. So there's all the sprouts. Remember we talked about how a plant grows? We plant the seed and then a little baby plant comes up and we call that a sprout. And giving them water. So they all need water to grow. Remember we talked about what things plants need to grow? They need sun, they need water, they need soil, and they need air. And waiting for warm sun to make them grow. And grow. Look how big they're getting. All of our vegetables, tomato, pepper, cabbage, broccoli, green bean, peas, onion, zucchini squash, potato, carrot, corn, and there's a weed right there. And growing into plants. So they started out as a tiny seed, and then they were a baby plant, a little sprout, and now they're the mature plant or the older plant, the adult plant. We watch over them and weed. So when they grow bigger, we need to take out all the weeds, and that's what these little rakes and tools are for, because we don't want the weeds to take all of their water or sun. So we have to take them out so that our vegetables can keep growing. Until the vegetables are ready for us to pick. What vegetables do you see on this page, friends? That's right, tomatoes. That is a pepper and corn. Or dig up. Some vegetables grow under the ground, like these carrots, or these potatoes. So we might have to dig them up out of the ground and carry home. Then we wash them and cut them and put them in a pot of water. So we can take all these yummy vegetables and cut them up and put them in a big pot of water so we can make some, cook them into vegetable soup. Yummy. At last, it's time to eat it all up. It was the best soup ever. Look at all the veggies in there in that yummy soup. And we can grow it again next year. We can grow it again because remember, friends, we learned that the plant life cycle is like a circle. So they start out as a seed and they grow into a big plant and make more seeds, and then we can plant more seeds and keep on planting our vegetables every year. I wanted to show you some pictures of some different plants. And how about we sing this It's a Plant song together? Are you ready? A plant's a special living thing, living thing, living thing. A plant's a special living thing. It makes its own food. So plants are living things, and they make their own food using the sun. It doesn't eat breakfast or lunch, breakfast or lunch, breakfast or lunch. It doesn't eat breakfast or lunch. The leaves do all the work. So plants do not eat breakfast and lunch like you do, friends. They make their own food. And the leaves on plants help do that using the sunlight. So let's talk about some different kinds of plants. A bush is a plant. They have bushes outside their house, maybe? A fern is a plant. We might have these living outside during the summer. A fern is a plant. Grass is a plant. And I have some grass growing in my house. I have some special grass that I grow for my kitties to eat. It's not doing very well right now. I think it needs more sun, but it's growing right inside my house. You can grow your own grass too inside your house if you just find some grass seed and you can plant it in your house. Flowers are plants. What else are plants, friends, that we see outside? Trees are plants. And vegetables are plants, just like we read in our story just now. So all different kinds of vegetables and fruits are plants. So that's what I wanted to talk to you about with my tray, are different parts of the flower, and or different parts of the plant. And we're gonna talk about that some more this week. Parts of the plants that we eat are roots, like carrots, onion, radishes, and potatoes. They grow under the ground. So my onion that I have here, it actually grows under the ground. So this part is underneath the ground, and then it grows up some leaves and stems on top of it. This part's under the ground, and the green part grows up above the ground. So we eat roots. We eat, what are these, friends? Got a pear, apple, what's that? Yes, strawberry, blueberries. We eat fruit. So I have which thing on my tray is a fruit? You're right, the apple is a fruit. So we eat fruit. Ooh, a nice, yummy, shiny apple. We also eat seeds. Seeds, different kinds of seeds that we eat is corn, peanuts, beans, and these kind of beans too are seeds. Does anybody remember if I have any seeds on my tray? Which thing on my tray might have some seeds in it? Just like this. You're right, the green bean. Let's see if the green bean has some seeds in it. So if I just open it up, right in there, do you see the seeds? There's one right here. See it? It's so tiny. But we have it was right inside our bean. That's so cool. And we eat this whole thing, right, friends? So we eat the seeds too. We also eat leaves. What kinds of things do we eat that we eat the leaf part of it? Which thing on my tray was a leaf? We eat salads, and that part of the plant is the leaf. Yes, we eat lettuce, and that is the leaf. We also eat flowers. Flowers. We also eat the flower part of the plant, just like this vegetable. Broccoli. I'm sure all of you guys eat all your broccoli every time you have it. It makes you grow big and strong. And this one, cauliflower. So we also eat the flower. Which thing on my tray was a flower? Is a flower. Flower part of the plant. The broccoli. This part right here is actually the flower part of the plant, and that's the part that we like to eat. We also eat stems. A stem is part of the plant too, and that's things like celery and asparagus. We eat that stem part of the plant. And I don't have any celery or asparagus at my house, but you might have some celery at your house. And that part is the stem. Okay, so we eat lots of different parts of the plant, right, friends? A plant is a special living thing. So some things are alive, like us, and they breathe air, and some things are not alive. So, some things are alive, they breathe air and they grow like us. And some things are not alive. They do not eat food or breathe or grow. Okay? So, I'm going to show you a picture. You tell me if you think it's alive or not alive. Okay? Ready? How about a plant? Is that alive or not alive? You're right, it's alive. A plant is alive. It breathes the air. Even though we might not see it breathe air, it makes its own food and it grows, right? Okay, what about a chipmunk? What do you think? Is he alive or not alive? A chipmunk is alive. He eats food and he breathes air and he grows just like you. What about fire? Tricky one. Is fire alive or not alive? Fire does move around. We can make a fire, but does fire need to eat food to stay alive? Does fire need to breathe air to stay alive? Not alive. What about a chair? Alive or not alive? You're right, not alive. What about a frog? Is a frog alive or not alive? A frog is alive. Good job. He has to eat and breathe air to live. Okay, what about cookies? We love cookies, right, friends? Is a cookie alive or not alive? Cookie is not alive. Cookie does not need to eat food or breathe air to live. What about an apple tree? What do you guys think? Is a tree alive or not alive? A tree is alive. A tree has to have water and sun and air to live. It grows. What about books? Is a book alive? Do books need to eat or breathe air? Not alive. Good job, friends. What about a clock? Is a clock alive or not alive? Good, not alive. Clocks do not need to eat food or breathe air. What about a flower? This looks like a crocus that we learned about last week. I have some in my yard. They come up in spring. Alive or not alive? Good, a flower is alive. They need air and water and sun to live. What about a seagull? Is a seagull alive or not alive? A seagull. He is alive, yes. He needs to eat food and he grows and he needs water to live. What about a bottle of water? Is that alive or not alive? Not alive. Good. Water does not need to breathe air to live. It is not a living thing. Thank you for helping me sort our pictures, friends. Good job. So I hope you have a great day and I'll see you again next time. Okay, bye friends.